Hey, welcome to Cow Free Kicks. On this channel I review leather-free sneakers only, and this video is all about a new drop from ASICS. It's the ASICS GEL-LYTE III CM 195s. Welcome to the channel. If you've not seen one of my reviews before, I always look into 5 different categories when I review a pair of sneakers, and I think they're all really important when you're making that decision into investing your hard-earned cash into a new pair of sneakers. And those categories are looks, comfort, weight, breathability and price. And then at the end of the video I will give these ASICS GEL-LYTE III CM 195s an overall rating out of 5 stars. If you do like what you see as you're going along and you want to show a little bit of extra support, do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device, and if you've not done so already, please take time to subscribe to the channel. So let's start this video off as we always do by checking out these ASICS on feet. Based on the standard version of the ASICS GEL-LYTE 3s, this CM195 version is very different from the standard versions that you will find out there of this silhouette, mainly because this is ASICS' lowest ever carbon emission manufactured shoe. And that's because there are so many processes in the making of this sneaker that are low on carbon emissions or even carbon negative, which means throughout the production process, they're actually benefiting the environment with the manufacturing processes they're using rather than causing CO2 emissions. And the 1.95 is the 1.95 kilogram of CO2 emissions that are used to make these shoes. So very, very low carbon emissions. And that's mainly because this sneaker is the only colorway you're going to find of this shoe, because it is a solution dyed shoe, which means that there's no water dyeing process for the fabrics used in this sneaker. The color of the sneaker is made up of the base fabric colors that the fabrics come in when they are used to make the shoe. So that's why you've got this overall kind of low toned cream running throughout the shoe. It is broken up a little bit with the silver embroidery you can see that makes up the ASICS branding and on the toe box, and also there is some very, very subtle hints of light kind of matcha tea green that's used in some of the embroidery detailing on the shoe. But overall you've got this very muted cream color that runs throughout. Obviously you've got the option to dye these sneakers any color you want because they're such a blank canvas, but it's kind of going against what this sneaker is all about, because then you have to use the dye and the water and it will create carbon emissions in that way. So it kind of goes against what this sneaker is all about. But talking about the shoe more, the fabric for the upper of the sneaker is a very soft, light knit that runs throughout the upper of the shoe, and it's broken up with this incredibly heavy fabric that's used for the heel pull of the shoe. It also runs with the ASICS branding towards the heel at the back of the sneaker as well, and it runs all the way through up towards the laces and actually creates the lace loops that you'll see on the shoe, and then runs back down towards the back of the toe box. You've got the silver embroidery to make up the branding detailing and more detailing around the toe box. The production process for this sneaker does use much quicker and easier methods than some of the standard manufacturing, obviously because there's less materials, they're reducing carbon emissions that way. And then for the midsole unit of this sneaker, there's no gel apparent in this shoe. So with the GEL-LYTEs, you will get that gel effect throughout the midsole, but with these you don't. You've actually got a bio-based polymer foam that's made up of sugar cane and is carbon negative. And then the outsole for the sneaker is also made up of this bio-based foam, but you would get a little bit of hardened rubber towards the heel, which is probably going to be the most hard wearing part of the foot. Overall, I do think they look really good on feet. I really like the simple look that you get with them. A lot of people are going to think they look a bit bland, but that's because of the production process and the lack of dyes that have been used in the making of the shoe. But overall, I do think they look good. I think they look good on feet. I do like the fact that you still get the split tongue with this shoe that you get with the standard GEL-LYTE 3s. Whilst they do look a little bit different, I think they do keep the aesthetic of the GEL-LYTE 3s, which I absolutely love, quite well. Overall, I think it's a pretty good looking shoe. Now I want to move on to their comfort, where I want to see how comfortable this bio-based mid is on my back doorstep. So unfortunately, these do not have the gel-based midsole unit that the ASICS GEL-LYTE 3s come with as standard. It is this bio-based polymer foam. It is actually quite hard to the touch, and it is very tough to kind of create an impression with your fingers on this foam. As you can see, they're pretty rigid. I'm personally worried that if I was to completely fold that over, this foam would snap. I can hear it creaking so much. Overall, the ride underfoot, as you can see from the step test, is firm. There is a little bit of bouncy give in this foam, but it is definitely riding on the firmer side. I did enjoy the ride underfoot, mainly because we'll talk about it in the weight section next, because they're so lightweight and everything does feel really lightweight in this sneaker when you put them on feet. But I just think that there's not as much comfort as I would like. Now, it does say throughout the press release information for this sneaker that they have created a very, very comfortable and squishy bio-based foam, but definitely to the touch and when I flex the sneaker, they aren't unfortunately as soft as I would like. Moving towards the upper, it's an incredibly soft knit upper that you get with these sneakers. I really like the fact you do get some additional padding inside the shoe around the heel. On top of the feet, they were just an absolute dream to put on, to be honest. They fit really well all around. These additional thicker parts strapping here pull your feet in with the laces. I do think that they offer a nice amount of support. Fit-wise, they're a perfect fit lengthwise for my UK 10 size feet. I've got slightly wider than average feet, but with the amount of give there is in this material upper, I did find that I had plenty of room in the toe box. So I would stick to your standard sizing when you're ordering these. No need to go half a size up or half a size down. But unfortunately, even though they're really comfortable on top of the foot, underfoot, I just felt they were too firm. So overall, quite average in that department. Next, I want to move on to their weight, where I'm going to pop them on the scales. 258 grams per shoe is an incredible weight for these sneakers. Now, they've definitely concentrated on keeping these lightweight, and that's definitely to do with the fact that even though you've got a very, very chunky bio-based foam midsole, it is very, very lightweight. And I did say that that did add to the comfort, because it did feel like you were pretty much walking around in a pair of slippers with these, because they're so comfortable on top of your feet. Underfeet, yes, they're a bit too firm, but the weight really does add to their comfort, and I think they're excellent in that department weight-wise. Now I want to move on to their breathability, where I want to pump this upper full of smoke, see how breathable it is. A nice amount of smoke and released at a relatively quick rate. They're not the most breathable sneakers that I'll review this year, but they do offer a nice amount of breathability. It is going to be restricted slightly because the knit of these is quite tight. There's some reinforced areas around the toe box as well where the smoke didn't really escape from, and I was a little bit surprised that there wasn't more smoke escaping from the middle of the foot, because it does look like this knit is quite loose around the middle and the toe, and it does get bulkier towards the heel where you've got extra padding. So I was expecting a bit more smoke to release, but overall they're a nice breathable shoe, but not the most breathable that I'm going to review this year. Now moving on to their price. Now these come in at £165, and it's just a little bit too expensive for me when you consider what the shoe is offering. Now yes, I do appreciate the fact that they've had to go through some different manufacturing processes to create this type of what we'll call renewable shoe and carbon negative sneaker, but overall I just think 165 is a bit too much. I think I'd rather see these come in at like the 150 mark, something like that. And that moves me on to my overall score for these sneakers, and I'm going to give them a pretty solid 3.5 stars. Now I think they look nice, I think their weight is incredible, their breathability is good, but I do think they're too highly priced, and unfortunately I didn't enjoy how firm they were underfoot. I think the comfort was really helped by their weight, but I think if they improved the bounce that you get with this polymer bio-based foam, because it really is quite restricting and quite firm, I just think you'd have a much better shoe. And obviously if they've dropped the price, that will make me much happier as well. Now if you've liked what you've seen today, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up, like before you leave. You can also follow me on Instagram, drop any comments below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.